Now, speaking of this wonderful world in which we live in Gilead, Reverend Ames often speaks about his wonder towards creation. There is woven in the story a deep sense of reverence and awe before God's creation. Whether we're talking about the simple planes or the several ways in which light changes the mood of a situation, simple animals and what they go about, the sense that in any given moment, the world can shine like transfiguration, as Ames puts it. I love it that John Ames has eyes to see it. Now, it seems that Christians, sadly so, live in a sense of a dichotomy between they are either heavenly minded or earthly minded. And it seems to me that John Ames shows us that you can better treasure the good things of earth by being heavenly minded, and vice versa. He can better love eternity by loving this world, and vice versa. Would you care comment on that for us?
Well, when I was writing Gilead, in all the writing that I do, really, I'm sort of exploring ideas that were broached to me when I was, reading 19th century American literature and reading Emerson and Thoreau and Melville and so on. And they're very much influenced by a kind of religious thought that assume that experience addresses everyone, anyone, continuously, so that there is a sort of presence of God in whatever you perceive, whatever, and I think that's a very beautiful idea. And in a way, I sort of experiment in my language with how that might be experienced, frankly, hoping to perhaps school myself. But the idea of perception as being something that is a great gift, that really does root you in an essentially sacred experience, an essentially sacred reality. That's an idea that I feel in all those writers that I admire and that I give John Ames.
Yes, he's very good at it. And if you don't mind me saying it, not only consideration is about the beauty of the world itself, but the very beauty of a well-phrased sentence, a memorable paragraph that evokes in the reader's heart this very sense of reverence and awe. A well-put sentence really helps us see what has been in front of us all the time, and yet we had not noticed. So I thank you for that. True.
And that's another reason for reading, certainly a great reason for reading. It really opens the senses if you're reading good writers,
Yes, that's true. Many sentences can become the way our mind translates what we're seeing, and they go with us for years and years. Sometimes yes. we as readers remember sentences we read decades ago, and they yes. bring sense to today's. That's great.